Well guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. I'm happy to say that we're gonna have soup finally. It's raining, it's been raining all day, and it's just such a blessing to have that happen. And it's time for chicken soup, and I'm gonna make a chicken and orzo soup. So I hope if it inspires you to stay with me on this, you give me a thumbs up, maybe share it on your Facebook page, and go down in the About section below during the video or after the video and check out the links that I've left for you. All right, guys, so we've got chicken thighs. Now, I chose chicken thighs because they have a little bit more flavor. They make a really rich broth. And I've got button mushrooms that I sliced up. I've got 2 large carrots that I sliced up. And I used my wavy knife. I'll leave you a link for one of those. They're fun. Just makes it look prettier. Some celery, a full bunch of organic celery. I love celery, so I can't get enough. And then I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of minced fresh garlic, and then some of the last herbs out of my garden. I've got about 1/2 cup, between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of fresh parsley. We've got some ginger, lemon juice, and you could use fresh lemon. Quite often I do that, but they didn't have any nice looking lemons in the grocery store today, and they were quite expensive, so I'm just using real lemon juice. I've got orzo pasta, home canned chicken stock, and then at the end I'll thicken the broth. So let's get to the stove. We're gonna saute these vegetables, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be so delicious. Oh yeah, you're gonna need some butter. So I have my hot pan here, and I'm gonna put some olive oil and some butter down. So down goes about 2 tablespoons of butter, and this is gonna be a big pot of soup. This is a 5-quart stock pot. I've got some garlic infused olive oil, and we're gonna put that down there. At least we're using healthy oil with the so on my cutting board I've got my vegetables that I'm gonna go ahead and really, I'm putting them down. Get them sauteed a little bit. It'll add a little bit of a layer of flavor that you won't get if you just braise them, if you will. I just love soup, and my husband takes soup all winter long for lunches, and tomorrow the high's only going to be like 42, so guess what? He's going to have soup. And the other thing is, my neighbors, who I dearly love, are remodeling their kitchen, and so I thought I'd take them a bowl of soup tonight, since they don't have a kitchen to cook in, and you get tired of takeout. All right, so we're going to let these saute for about 5-10 minutes, and then once I feel like they're ready for the rest of this, we'll start putting it all together. So my vegetables have been sweating here in the olive oil and butter for about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken in. Just because I can get maybe a little bit of a brown on it, it's going to add another layer of flavor. You don't have to do these steps, but I think it's worth it. So let us know in the comment section how you make your chicken soup and what veggies you put in, if you put any in. Okay, now spices. I've got a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and I like this. I've also got salt and pepper, and I've already pre-ground my pepper, and I like lots of pepper. I always add more at the end. That was about a teaspoon and a half. Same with the salt. And I use Himalayan pink salt. And we're gonna let this just go ahead and saute this. So we've got our soup base here is been sauteing, and the chicken is getting some nice color on it. I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic and my parsley. Hopefully you can see that okay. Get that in there. Everything else is going in at this point. It's just already looks delicious. All the colors, I love them. So now I'm gonna go ahead with my ginger, and I'm gonna put about a tablespoon. You don't want the ginger to take over the soup, but you want it brightens the background. Trust me on this, it is absolutely delicious. Same thing with the lemon juice. So I would use the juice of 1 lemon and the zest if I had a fresh one. So we're gonna put a tablespoon, about a tablespoon and a half of lemon juice. Again, it's not to take over, it's to enhance the soup. Okay, let's get our sherry in. And this is totally up to you, but I'm gonna put about a half a cup. And now we've got our homemade chicken stock. I'm gonna add some more water because we've got to leave room for the pasta, and so another quart of water, and we're gonna let this simmer on low. Once it comes up, we're gonna let it simmer on low the rest of the afternoon. It's just gonna be delicious. So guys, I'm bringing you back. I've got this at a real low simmer, and that's what I want. But I wanted to bring you back to tell you, whenever I make soup, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same, you go to the refrigerator and go, what can I use up? What do I need to use up? And guess what I found? I've got cubed butternut squash from my garden that I need to use. And so this is about a cup, maybe a little bit more. And I've just diced it real small. And the rest of that squash, because we had half of it one night with dinner, and then, you know, you've got the other half left. It always makes a lot, but this will add an element of sweetness to this soup. So our soup has been simmering now on the stove for a few hours, and just at a really low simmer, just a bubble here and there. Nothing too crazy because I don't want it overcooked, if that makes sense. And so I've got my orzo pasta, and what it looks like a little fine grain of rice. And I love this for soups because sometimes pasta swells up and it becomes icky. Orzo gets better. So we're gonna put a cup of orzo in here and maybe a cup on the stove. Okay, so we put our orzo in here, give it a little stir, and I've given this broth a taste, and it tastes fantastic. So guys, my chicken orzo soup is done, and it is absolutely one of my favorites. And it ends up almost like a stew. I thought I was gonna have to thicken it, but the orzo just keeps swelling and gets this really thick. So it's like an orzo and chicken stew, and I may rename it because it really is thicker than a soup. So there you go. There's that. I made some homemade buttermilk biscuits, the easiest, most foolproof recipe on the planet. And if you want to see that recipe, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section because it's delicious. These are flaky. You can see the layers. It's absolutely wonderful. The orzo swells up to, you know, just like any other pasta, but it comes out absolutely fantastic. And it's soft on the palate. So I'm gonna take a bite for you, and then I'm gonna leave you because my husband is starving. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my gosh, the chicken is delicious. It melts in your mouth. The vegetables melt in your mouth. I'm so glad I added the butternut squash. And that orzo pasta, if you've never used it, it has such a soft mouthfeel to it. I really like that in soups and stews, and in this application, it's absolutely perfect. So I can't wait to see you next time. I hope if you enjoyed this video, you'll go ahead and give me a thumbs up, share it on your Facebook page, and if you make this soup, go ahead over to my Facebook page and let me know because it is fantastic. So delicious and great for a winter or fall day. All right, we'll see you.